I have an overlay UI on the left. It says the CPU usage, GPU usage, RAM usage, and the system name. And it also has some additional details called the usage frequency. The refresh rate is 143. The temperature is around 78, it is dynamically changing and we can move this overlay anywhere else. 5% of usage, yes, it's exact the same way. And the temperature is around 59%, yes, it says 58% here. And it's the network speed is around 6.9 download speed. Yeah, it's working good. So while I click the unlock button, then so we can hover over it, but when I click the lock button, it will bypass each and every app and always stays on top. Hello guys, welcome back again with our sticky overlay with Python tutorial. I'm gonna teach you what to do inside the settings overlay class in order to make the UI dynamically update for each second. Okay, let's get started. So if you are watching this video for the first time, make sure that you have watched the previous two videos about how I made this overlay class. You can see it on the left side top, it says CPU usage, GPU usage and the RAM usage with the network speed. And yep, and also we have this settings UI, but this is static for now and we'll make this dynamic in this video. So let's get started. First we are gonna minimize the overlay class because we don't need that now, and we have successfully completed everything inside this overlay class. So we just need to focus on the settings UI. Firstly, I'm gonna go program the close button and the lock button. Self dot settings setting class dot close button dot click dot connect say self dot close. This just closes the original window, so we don't need to create a function with close because the self dot close is already assigned with the close function in default. So let's go with the lock button. Self dot settings class dot lock button dot click dot connect. Let's say lock window. Now we need to create this function. It's called the method. Okay, I just created the lock window. Now before getting into this function, we need to assign a new variable called self.locked is equal to false. This variable, this instance will intimate that the window is locked or the window is unlocked. The reason why I have put the self here is to make this variable available to each and every method inside the class, which means each and every functions inside the class for simplicity. Yes. So we shall go if not self.locked. If not self.locked, we should go with self.set window flag with the qt core dot qt dot window type dot window stays on top hint. Here it is, comma true. And we go self dot show, and also we need to change the icon of the lock button. Here we have the lock button icon. We should dynamically update the lock and unlock image while the UI is actually locked or not. So before that, we need to create two variables inside here. Self dot lock button icon is equal to qtgui dot q icon. Okay, then we go self dot lock button dot add pixmap. Then we go qtgui dot q pixmap. Then we need to specify the path here. We have it inside here locked and unlocked dot png. Just we'll call images double backslash locked dot png, and with a comma here qtgui dot q icon dot normal comma qtgui dot q icon dot off. Then again just copy paste this one for the unlock icon. This will rename this to unlock button icon. This to unlock. Now we'll call these variables inside the lock window. So let's go self dot settings class dot lock button dot set icon. Inside this we'll pass the self dot lock button icon, and we'll also change the variable to true. Lock is equal to true because we have changed the icon. So we'll go with the else. Just will copy paste. We go here with the false. We go here with the unlock button, and also here we say false. Fine. Now the lock button will actually work. Let's go click play. So we have the lock button here, and when I move the window, you can see that the window is not staying on top of every window. So let's click the lock button. Okay, when we click the lock button, actually it's bypassing. Yes, Now it is staying on top of every app. You can see when I click the lock button and it is unlocked now, so we can hover over it. So when we click the lock button, yes, it's working fine. Yep. Now also we'll test it with the close button. Yeah, it's working. Okay, now we'll program it with our static information. Then we go with the dynamic information. Static information is that the program takes the input for single time, and dynamic variation, which includes the dynamic update of each and every values for each one sec. For example, these are static values. These do not change with time because these are just global data, and we know that. And these data like the CPU usage, GPU usage, it depends upon the program and the backend running process, so it should be updated dynamically each second. That's what we are going to do now. Okay, firstly I'll minimize these for simplicity reasons. Firstly guys, I have already taught you something in my this video. You can see that we have learned how to display static information like the CPU name, GPU name. Also we have learned some dynamic variables, but in this video I'll teach you the same. But also, if you don't understand this video, you can also watch that video. I'm just recommending you to watch that video. So don't worry, I'm not gonna bore you. So let's go with the function called display settings stats for self. Now, we are gonna use this PS util and the GPU util to get more data about our system. And also we need some additional modules called WMI. This is called Windows Management Instrumentation module. And also we'll take CPU info. Also we'll have the platform. Just I have done this because in the actual one line we have imported all the modules which are needed to check to benchmark our PC. That's it. So we go here. So we get a variable called PC is equal to WMI dot with the capital WMI again. Go with the brackets. We just initialize the WMI class. Get CPU info is equal to CPU info. We calling the CPU info package dot get CPU info. Actually guys, this CPU info variable will be getting the output as in the list, so we also go print get CPU info to get a clear idea about this. So we'll call this inside the init in order to work with this. So self dot display stats. So we click the play. You can see that we have n number of information about our PC. It says CPU version is 9,9,0 and the architecture, bits counts, and Python version, and the cat size, AMD Ryzen 9 5950 16 core processor, HZ friendly, actually Hertz friendly is 3.40 and Hertz actual is 3.4 the same, and blah blah blah. Much more information we have. I have taught you these basics in this video if you want that, so I'm not gonna do the exact things inside this video. So let's continue our journey. So without going into the print, we want another information called get CPU more info for simplicity reasons. Yes, PC dot, we call the PC dot win 32 underscore processor with I'm just calling this 0th index because in some systems there may be multiple CPUs which is like a server. So I'm just in basic systems like personal computers, we just have one CPU. That's why we are calling this 0th index. So in your case, if you are rich enough like my friend Deadpool, you may have many more CPUs inside a same PC like him. I'm not gonna talk about him. Get GPU info, the next variable is equal to pc.win32 underscore video controller. This is the graphics card, which is also 0th index. Sorry, it's PC. Again, you can ask why I'm doing the 0th index. Again, I'm not gonna tell about my friend. He's using many GPUs and CPUs inside the same PC. If you want, you can ask him directly through the Discord server. Get GPU more info, just for simplicity purpose, is equal to GPU util dot get GPUs. Right? Now I'm gonna update this static variables like the system name, architecture, operating system, CPU, and the GPU. So for that one, I'll go self dot settings class dot dynamic variables dot set plain text. We do have query here and with the double quotes. So I'm gonna do first the platform dot node which gives me the computer's network name with the bracket, and I'll go to the second line by \n, and I'll go with the F query again, double quotes. Now I'm gonna do platform dot architecture, the colon, again with the \n. I'm going to the next line, F bracket platform dot platform with the bracket with the \n, and you can see as follows. Yes guys, go here, play this one, and we come here. You can see the first value is the system name, and we have took the system name from the network name, and the architecture is 64-bit Windows PE. It's professional edition, and the platform is the Windows 10.10, whichever version you have, and the CPU info I have took the brand raw index and display the CPU name, and the GPU info dot capture. You can play around with these print statements. You can also do print inside GPU info, so you can get much more information, which I have mentioned in that video. You can also watch that video. Again, I'm telling you, because that video is so important, because I cover the basics there. Then also we have some static information inside this example. We have number of cores and number of processors as static. This is not gonna change dynamically. And here inside GPU and the dedicated VRAM is also not gonna change. The resolution is not gonna change. Temperature, absolutely it will change depending upon the load, and the driver version and current refresh rate, it's static. So we gonna program those static values now. Let's go here. I'll just command this up for CPU static info for simplicity purpose. Self dot CPU frequency is equal to psdel dot CPU frequency dot current. Yo, self dot CPU underscore clock speed is equal to get more CPU info dot current clock speed. These are the objects I have retrieved from the WMI.WMI. Inside we have the Win32 processor of 0th index. Self dot CPU underscore voltage. The same get QB more info dot current voltage. And the same. Okay. I have took the frequency, clock speed, voltage, number of cores, and number of processors. We go with the GPU values now. GPU static infos. Go self dot GPU VRAM is equal to get GPU more info of 0th index dot memory total. Guys, in some case, if you are running a parsec software on your PC, even it is running on the background or if it is closed completely, in some case, if you have the 0th index, you will probably find the parsec software's information on your terminal. But if you find that error, you can try changing this 0th index to 1st index. It may be solving your issue. So I'll go with the 0 because I don't have the parsec software. It was literally confusing me while I'm prototyping this project. Okay, let's go self dot GPU resolution is equal to F query, because we need to take the height and the width. So I go get GPU info dot current horizontal resolution, and here we have the X, and go get GPU info dot current vertical resolution. Okay, self dot GPU current refresh rate, get GPU info dot current refresh rate, again GPU driver info. Okay, fine. Now before implementing these values inside the UI, we also need to calculate the dynamic variables and place them both inside the UI at the same time. Can you get me? Okay, for that one we go again and create a new function called display settings stats dynamically. The reason why I put this self here will be revealed here now. We go create two variables called the download speed and the upload speed, and we call them here global upload speed, download speed. Now I'm gonna create again a variable called get GPU more info 1, because this is not a self dot variable. So again I'm gonna create this as GPU util dot get GPUs. Okay, now I'm gonna replace the CPU values individually and the GPU values individually and the RAM values individually. So go self dot settings class dot CPU values dot set plain text. Okay, now I go here and copy. Yes, here I have the CPU values. I'm gonna copy this from here till here and paste it here. I'm gonna write the F on the beginning of every line. Then just I'm gonna check these values. Just select these values and delete. We'll replace it with the bracket, and let's go ps util dot cpu percent with the brackets, and the percentage is a, then go with the frequency. Delete this one, press a bracket. This will be the frequency. We have the CPU frequency here. We'll just call it self dot CPU frequency. Also we need to use a colon dot 0 f in order to cut out the lengthy float numbers. If you use 1 here, it will display a single decimal point after the float, and if you have used 2 here, then it will be a 2 decimal point. When I have used 0, this will just make a round integer. Then this will be megahertz, not gigahertz. Then we go with the clock speed, self dot CPU clock speed. Also this will be a megahertz, and the voltage just like the same. Okay, the CPU part is over. Now we go with the GPU part. Self dot GPU values, settings class dot GPU values dot set plain text. We go again, copy the GPU values. The first value is will be a little bit different. We use the F on front. We have get GPU more info of 0 dot load into 100. This will be a float value, guys. In order to change this to an integer, we'll just make the whole bracket, and we go with the round function here. Round with a comma of 1 to round this to single decimal point, or else if you can use 2, or else if you wish to use 2, it will be rounding. It will be cut shorting the decimal to 2 decimal points. I'll use 1 here for simplicity purpose. And we go change the RAM, self dot GPU VRAM. Here we have the resolution and the temperature. For temperature, we go CPU info 1 of 0 dot temperature, and the same for the refresh rate and driver version. Fine. Now we have the CPU values and the GPU values. For calculating the RAM values, we need to do some functions like the addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, or something. So we go RAM total is equal to util dot virtual memory dot total, and these value will be on bytes. So we need to change this to kilobytes by dividing it by 1024, and also another 1024 to change this to megabytes, and another 1024 to change this to gigabytes. So we copy paste this one. Go with RAM used. Here we go, used. Simply by dividing these two values, we get the RAM percent is equal to RAM used by RAM total into 100. Then we go assign these values, self dot settings class dot RAM values dot set plain text. And we again go copy here, and we say the usage as percent here, RAM percent with the colon dot 2f, cut short into 2 float values, and the total available as RAM total, and this one to RAM use. Should cut short this variable to at least 2 or 3 decimal points, it's your wish. Okay, now we set the network speed variable. We go self dot settings class dot net speed dot set plain text. We go with the F query, and let's copy that up. Here it says download and upload. Just copy the BAM, replace the F here. This will change this 6.0 into download speed, which we have imported here from the global variable, and also the upload speed to upload speed. We'll make sure we cut short this variable to single float integer. Okay, that's cool. Okay, now we need to update this display settings stats dynamically with respect to each second. So for that one, we'll minimize this. Inside, we'll delete this up. I will create a timer here. For each and every second, the timer will be creating a timeout function. So we say self dot timer is equal to q timer of self, and self dot timer dot timeout dot correct. We say self dot display settings start dynamically. Just calling this function here with self dot timer dot start, and here we'll say 1000, which represents a single second. 1000 millisecond refers to 1 second. Okay, now we go play, and yes, we have some issues. It says on line 139. Maybe I dropped my brain here. Settings UI has no attribute CPU free. Okay guys, I have found where my brain.exe has stopped working, because we don't have a CPU frequency until or unless we have called this function before the dynamic function. here before the dynamic function, yes, yeah, here we need to call the self dot display settings stats. Okay, fine. Now we'll click on play. Now it will work. Still we have some issues on the line 119. There is no attribute called current clock speed. Okay, I'm really sorry. I have dropped my brain twice because here we have CPU info and here we have more CPU info. Here we have GPU info, but this is also GPU more info. This is mistakenly gone for CPU more info and paste it here. GPU more info. Okay, now we'll click on the play. Okay, now our values are actually working fine. Here we have the frequency and voltage, everything was working fine. The dedicated VRAM is about 10 GB, and here the total available, it's going up to the next country because I think so we have didn't cut short the variable, and here it says total available. And where is the total available? Yeah, we'll also do a cut short for this one, dot to F. When we close this, we run it again. Okay, now it's good. Usage is around 45%. Let's cross check this one. Go task manager. We have go to the performance and we have the memory. Yeah, the 46% and here it says 45.62%, which is very precise, and the total available is 15.92 and it's just 7.1 or 7.2 depends. Yo, the GPU, it says 11 to 12% and the usage is around 10%, and also the temperature is around 63 degrees Celsius. Yes, exactly. And the CPU usage is around 6%, 4.3, yes, 5, and frequency matches the same. And we have the frequency as the base speed is 3.40 gigahertz and the logical processor is 32, number of cores is 60, and the name which also matches perfectly in every course. And we have the download and upload speed too. Let's also go check it up. Go YouTube, let's lock this, go to the trending, let's go watch this trailer for now. You can see download speed is 3.2 and it is varying. Go here with the full resolution to 4K. Now it's going up to 9.1, 8.5, 10. Yeah, it's okay. So now we'll remove the title bar and we'll remove these selectable items. So let's click on close. We go into the settings overlay.py. On top, we need to add this line of code, which is settings widget dot set window flag frameless window and the qt.tool. Now let's play. You can see the title bar is vanished, and we go to the each and every variables and let's go change. Yeah, we have a variables here, self dot variables dot set enabled to false, because we cannot select any text here. That's why we copy this up, go to each and every variables and dynamic variables. This is dynamic variables. Then I go the CPU values, also CPU values and the GB values and the RAM values. Okay, now we click on play. We cannot select any text inside this one, guys. That's magic. Now let's go create a function here in order to move the UI by just clicking on anywhere else on the UI. That is so easy, guys. I'm not gonna teach you. Just you need to paste these two methods inside the settings UI, which says mouse press event, just capturing the mouse position when we click on anywhere else, and just we are moving the window with the mouse itself, like the click and drag function. So let's play and see. Yeah, you can see the title bar is vanished and I can click and move this window anywhere else. You can see I'm clicking on the system name, it's working. Yeah, I can click anywhere else and move this button, but when I click on close button, it's I just messed up, but that's the function which is actually working there. So in my next video, I'll show you how to create a tree icon like this, and when we click here and we click details, the settings icon will be popped up, and if we click close, just the settings icon will only be closed. And also this is much more complicated than the usual tray icon method that I have already told you. This will be quite different, guys. So in the part 4 video, I'll meet you there. Until then, thank you so much for watching. I'll meet you on my next video. Just don't quit with this video. Make sure that you meet there, because you are never ever giving up, right? Thank you. Bye.